On this episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up, we're going to talk about AJ Lee returning to WWE and fans online and their reaction to her return and so much more. So let's jump into it. Hey guys, it's Tim and this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up, a handful of news brought to you in one easy to watch video. We got a lot to talk about. We've been off doing this show for the last week or two or so because of SmackDown and Raw running early, with Raw and SmackDown running early overseas, and those shows being, such an early start time. It's like, well, we start this around 12 to 12:30-ish here on Central Time. And then when those shows, some of them were starting at 1 my time, I was like, oh yeah, there's no way to get this in. And then start watching SmackDown or Raw right when it starts. And then Friday, I had I'll just say it right now, job interview, because I might be recruited to be a graphic designer for a company. But that's here or there, whatever. Not going to hurt anything here with the channel. But, so we're back. We're here. We're rocking. And we got some stuff to talk about. We're talking about AJ Lee and your fan reactions. Oh boy, get me on that one. We're going to talk about what's going on with Wade Barrett and why he was off commentary. We're going to talk about AJ Styles sending out some feelers outside of WWE. Dakota Kai's commented on her post-WWE wrestling hiatus and more. So with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Also, if you guys didn't see it last night on YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited and Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, I ran my own water park, or at least started to run my own water park, and that game was great. If you haven't tapped in to Water Park Simulator, we hit 3 hours on the stream last night, and I go, there's no freaking way I've been playing for 3 hours, and I'm looking down here at the clock going, what? No, I've not been playing this long. And it's like almost 2 a.m., and I'm like, I need to go to bed, but I don't want to stop playing. I need Water Park Sim. Go play that game. That game is so much fun. If you like simulator games, and I'm comparing this to like TCG Card Shop and the GOAT gas station sim, it's right up there. I don't know if it's better than gas station sim, maybe a little bit better than TCG Card Shop, or right on the level of TCG Card Shop. So go check that out. Not sponsored. With that, I want to say thank you if you are watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. If you're watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Trying to center that the camera really fast. Maybe I need to zoom it in a little bit. Screw it, let's do it. There we go. Oh, that looks so much better. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, whether that is with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime, because remember, all you gotta do is take that Twitch membership, take that Twitch login, take that Amazon login, link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, that way you know we post new videos when we go live and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember that you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to our graphics packages, graphics tutorials, a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis, and so much more. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, a couple other things. Head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Also, WWE has a brand new AJ Lee T-shirt available, the first one in a decade. And if you use our link, pwunlimited.co/AJ Lee, you will be supporting us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited while purchasing that shirt, and it doesn't cost you anything. I want to say thank you to the, I can even look right here, I want to say dozen people, if not more, that used our link when buying this shirt over the weekend since Friday night. Really do appreciate that, because we promote it and hawk it out there. I'll just be completely honest. And WWE Shop gives us a commission for doing so. So when doing so, use this link. Use this link when buying the new AJ Lee T-shirt, You're supporting us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Speaking of AJ, well, she's going to be on Raw tonight. But we have to go back to Friday night and everything that went down there. So really, the story starts before Friday. So coming off of last week's, now I'm Clash in Paris. My mind went blank for a second. Coming off of Clash in Paris, and my hair is a mess. Coming off of Clash in Paris, there was heavy teases that CM Punk is not alone against Seth Rollins and now Becky Lynch. Seth at one point even yelled, "I hate your family," and we all knew he wasn't talking about Larry, because who can hate Larry the dog? And so that got a lot of things stirring and stumbling. Oh my God, is AJ coming back? What is this with Becky and Seth and Punk? Then we go to Monday's Raw. CM Punk is out there, Becky is out there, and Becky slaps CM Punk. And then there's more teases of Punk's gonna get back up, but who? There was a tease of Rhea Ripley earlier in that show. And as the days started dwindling down to the Chicago SmackDown on Friday, because Punk told Adam Pearce, "Oh, I think I'm going to go to SmackDown then," we started hearing the words of AJ Lee's coming back. AJ Lee, the mixed tag that the fans have been theorizing is true. It's going to be AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. AJ's most likely going to be at SmackDown, or at least heavily talked about. And so we're going into SmackDown on Friday, and more reports are coming out going, no, AJ Lee's going to be here. AJ Lee's going to be on the show. So for what I'm about to say next, keep that in mind, that we've known for days that AJ Lee was more than likely 99% showing up on SmackDown last week in Chicago. So it was known for at least 2 to 3 days as a pretty strong guarantee that AJ was showing up. And so AJ Lee shows up. CM Punk and Becky Lynch are in the ring. They have a segment where Becky slaps him again and Punk gets out of the ring. Punk also teases, I can have backup from a number of different people. One of my sisters right there in the front row can come kick your ass. I can call upon Bayley. I can call the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. And when Becky slaps him and starts paintbrushing him in the face and whatnot, he gets out of the ring and it's just like, hands up. Nope. And he goes, Becky, I'll never lay my hands on a woman, but I have somebody that will. And then we heard, light it up, light it up. Out comes AJ Lee. And as far as being the AJ Lee character, and I know we only saw her for about 5 to 10 minutes, if even that, she looked like she hasn't missed a beat as far as being that character. The facial mannerisms that character would make, the skipping, the hands behind the back, the skipping, great. And when Punk got out of the ring, I'm like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. So I'm just like, I got closer to my screen and I'm like, all right. And I could feel myself starting to get a little emotional because I'm like, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. When he said, I'm not going to hit a woman, but I have somebody that will, I started to tear up. And it's okay to have an actual natural reaction here. It's okay to get excited for a wrestler to return, come back, shock you not knowing. Like when CM Punk returned in 2023 at Survivor Series in Chicago, I jumped out of my chair because it was a legit, didn't know it was happening surprise. When Brock showed up at SummerSlam this year, I got goosebumps and was like, holy crap, because it was a legit shock surprise. Nobody expected it. But with AJ coming back, and I'm not trying to take away from her return at all. You'll see my point here in a moment. It was not the biggest of surprises. Like I stated, I started getting emotional before AJ came out, before her music hit. And so her music hits, she skips out on the stage and just does the stand there, her little thing with the hands behind the back and just looking around. And I started to cry. And I'm like, oh my God, my favorite female wrestler of all time is back. Cool. Awesome. I didn't scream. I didn't yell. I didn't all that. I was just sitting here just invested in it. Just in the moment. Then that night and the next morning, we get all these videos online of people losing their minds, jumping out of their chairs, screaming, all this stuff, crying and like going out, holy crap. Like just a quick little moment is, yes, cool, sure. But some of these reactions that we got from some of these fans were some of the fakest, over the top. I'm going to try and go viral on social media. WWE's been using some of these in promo videos. I'm going to try and get on WWE's TV. I'm going to be like Denise Salcedo and Con Man. And that's what they were. Because here is my thing, and here is what I'm going to say about this. Nobody that is going to film themselves watching pro wrestling is not following the dirt sheets. Is not knowing the news days in advance that AJ's probably showing up on SmackDown. I don't know of a single person that is going to film their reactions to wrestling, to professional wrestling, that does not follow the dirt sheets. So some of these reactions, and most of these reactions that I've seen actually, were so fake, so over the top, so, oh, this might get good views on social media. Oh, WWE recently has been using streamers' reactions online or on TV and video packages. We've seen it with Con Man. His has been used a couple of times. We've seen it with Denise Salcedo. They've used hers a couple of times in video packages, like when Brock came back and whatnot. I think they used Con Man for that one, but I know they've used Con Man for a couple of different things. And I know they've used Denise once or twice as well. And so it's like, I'm not the only one saying this, that these reactions, these overreactions are just dumb. I'm not saying you can't react to a wrestling moment. You're not, it's not the fact that, how do I explain this? Because I saw a lot of people online going, well, I was screaming at my TV watching football this weekend. Yeah, and I was screaming at my TV watching NASCAR because things are happening that you aren't expecting and you want to go a certain way. So like when I'm watching the NASCAR race and I'm wanting Denny Hamlin to win because that is my pick for this week in fantasy NASCAR, I'm screaming, get it done. Go, 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 go. Just finish it out. Don't let Chase Briscoe pass. Don't let Chase Briscoe catch up. Go, 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 go. Because it is a in the moment feel and reaction to something that you don't know is happening. In wrestling, and I hate to say it, it's scripted. And there are moments that are scripted that we don't know about in advance, and there are moments that are scripted that we do know about in advance. And the AJ Lee return was one that we did know about. The AJ Lee return was not a surprise. So all these people going, oh my God, I can't believe it, it's AJ. No, you can believe it because we've known for at least 3 to 7 days. Well, 3 to 5 days. And so it's just like these reactions are so fake and so dumb, and you're making yourself look it. And it's like, we've had these moments before where they didn't leak out ahead of time, and it sucks. It really does suck that we learn this stuff, and then the news leaks out, and then these surprises get out there. Some of them do, some of them don't. I'll say it again. When Brock came back at SummerSlam, nobody knew that. Now, granted, PW Insider did have a thing up about 30 minutes before Brock's return, maybe an hour, saying Brock Lesnar's in town and could be returning tonight. But everyone's so invested in watching the show in that moment, in the third hour of SummerSlam when that report came out, that most missed it. Most didn't see it. Aggregators weren't on PW Insider because A, their website's not that great. They do get great news, but B, they have no notification system pushing their stuff out. So no one saw any of that in that moment. But Mike Johnson can say, hey, I had the Brock report before Brock. Anyways, other ones was like CM Punk. There were rumblings and fans were thinking, oh, it's Punk's coming back tonight. Maybe it's Chicago, WWE, it makes sense. But there was no guaranteed it's happening. There was no reports it's happening. They even went off the air. And I know a guy, I have friends that left the room but kept their Peacock going. And then all of a sudden heard his music hit and go, what the shit, and ran back to their room. Because they thought the show was over. And it was a moment that they weren't expecting in that moment. And so, and not to beat a dead horse, it's like, even with Shane McMahon in 2016, it was maybe when he returned, when Stephanie and Vince were in the ring, and you hear, here comes the money, money talks, here comes the money. I lost my shit. He was like, what the, no, Shane ain't bad. This ain't real. Who's really coming? It's your fucking Shane. It's like in those moments when we didn't know, when the dirt sheets didn't leak it out, when us aggregators didn't spread it all over the internet for you guys to see. Yes, we have the same types of reactions. But you can tell when they're fabricated, when they're over the top on purpose. especially in moments when you knew it was coming. So all the people that marked out and started screaming and yelling on the way they did, I'm not going to play the video. There's compilations you can find on X. There's compilations you can find on Threads and TikTok. And you can tell the ones that are genuine, I'm excited. Because there's a couple of them that is just like a couple people going, oh my God, it's AJ. It really did happen. And they get tearing up. And those are the real ones. But the ones where I screamed so loud, I broke the sound barrier. Yeah, okay. Or the ones when people are jumping out of their chairs. I never believed it would happen again. I never thought we'd see her again. No, you did, because we knew days in advance. But speaking of AJ Lee, there's more to talk about than just those fan reactions with AJ Lee. Because, well, we have learned per bodyslam.net over the weekend that AJ Lee has actually signed a full-time deal with WWE. Now, Triple H first broke the news after SmackDown that AJ signed some sort of a contract, but we didn't know what that contract was. We didn't know if it was just she signed the contract to do the match at WrestlePalooza and that was it. She signed a contract to be back for a short period of time and that was it. Or if it was a full-time deal akin to what her husband's on. Sounds like it's a full-time deal akin to what her husband's on. So it looks like AJ is back in the fold, ready to disrupt the women's division in WWE. And I love it. I can't wait to see what AJ Lee does back in WWE. It's going to be amazing. And the question is, when do they put a belt on her? When do they strap her? Now, I get what people are going to say. She's a nostalgia act. I don't get it. Why? She came from an era when women's wrestling sucked anyways. Why are you guys so excited? I've had those comments on multiple posts that I've made since AJ's return. Why are you excited? She comes from the Divas era. The Divas era sucked. Nobody was good then. And that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, new fan who was not watching when AJ Lee was the top female in WWE, rivaling the Bellas. Yes, the Bellas were bigger stars because they had the mainstream with Total Divas and this, that, and whatnot. But to the wrestling fan, the actual wrestling fan, AJ was the top. AJ was the women's pro wrestling top. In any company, anywhere in the world, there was nobody to a real wrestling fan. And I'm not saying that people that fell in love with wrestling because of Total Divas are not real wrestling fans. But I'm just saying, like, the hardcores. AJ Lee was our everything when it came to women's pro wrestling. It sucked that she was there during that era where women didn't have the time to shine. She left right before the change. A year before the change, because her last match was the Raw after WrestleMania 31, I believe. And I was at that WrestleMania 31 where her and Paige took on the Bellas. It was, unfortunately, the go get your drink and take a pee match, because I saw so many people getting out of their chairs and going to get a hot dog and a soda and a beer. The three friends I was with, two of them went, and I got to pee. This is the match to go pee. And so now we're in an era where women get to shine, where women get longer than 2-minute matches, and that's counting their entrance, where women get to main event and women get to cut longer promos. And if you know anything about AJ Lee, yes, she is a good pro wrestler, if not great. But her character work and her promo ability is what put her leaps and bounds, not just above all the other women in the division, but most of the men in that company at the time as well. So for all the people online commenting, why are you guys so excited for her? She's just a diva. She did nothing then. That means that you're a newer fan within the last 8 to 10 years that didn't see the AJ Lee run, that didn't see the great stuff that she did with Caitlyn, that didn't see the great stuff she did with Paige Saraya, that didn't see the awesome matches she was having with Natalya. So awesome to see. AJ will be on Raw tonight. From where is Raw tonight? That is a good question. And one would assume he's not been announced, but one would assume that if AJ's on the show, her husband CM Punk, old Phil Brooks, will be there as well. But tonight's Raw is coming to us from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Gotcha. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I got dates mixed up. I thought this week was next week with the Cena. No, Cena's on next week's Raw on the 15th in Springfield, Mass. But yeah, AJ Lee signed a full-time deal with WWE, according to reports. which means she's back in the fold, and I can't wait to see what goes down. And AJ Lee herself has actually now commented on her return. We're going to pull up the tweet that she sent out. Her first comments since coming back to WWE. Let's get this up here on the screen. Now I can't find it. AJ Mendez. She sent this out about an hour ago. 2 hours ago now. 2 hours ago now. And she stated, quote, if I can get it to pop up here. For some reason it's not wanting to switch screens. There we go. You've had my back for a decade. This run is for you, my wonderful weirdos. And then she accompanied it with a photo of her from SmackDown on the ropes, just soaking it all in. Soaking it all in. You'll love to see it. And a number of females in pro wrestling have also commented on AJ Lee's return, as we're going to pull up this graphic that I made over the weekend, just chronicalizing a lot of these here. Let's pull this one up. So let me do it this way so we can actually do it a little blurry, but you guys got it. You guys get it. First off, Trinity, the old Naomi, she sent out a number of tweets like she's mad. Oh, mad per se, I guess you would say, that old Big Jim got her pregnant because she's now not back and around because she wants AJ. Because if you think about it, they started at the same time. They were both on NXT when it was the competition show. And one of AJ's greatest matches is a match with Naomi on NXT. But she says, quote, caffeine perk you up, but me, I'm some natural dynamite baby. At AJ Mendez, welcome back, my little dynamite, give them hell. Like, she sent out a number of tweets. Roxanne Perez tweeted, mommy's home, spelled differently than Rhea's mommy. Like, mommy. Saraya, fuck, my heart is so full watching AJ Mendez come back. Love you, sister. Go show them why you're the best in the world. I mean, yeah. And Saraya's another one. Could she come back to WWE soon too? Could she return home to WWE? But the former Cora Jade, Elena Black tweeted out, all is right in the world. Kathy Kelly tweeted, the reason I started watching wrestling back in wrestling. Oh, is back in wrestling. I read that wrong. Ava, NXT general manager, tweeted, big day for 10-year-old Ava. Zelina Vega with a great tweet here that states, as AJ's music started playing, my legs started involuntarily skipping like it was 2017 all over again. Welcome home, Queen. You were missed you were so missed. And some misinterpreted this tweet from Zelina Vega because she's like, no, AJ left in 2015. But if you remember, in 2017, she actually played AJ Lee in the Fighting With My Family movie. So that is what she is referencing. Also, Kylie Ray sent out a tweet. That's our woman. Crying emoji, heart. And finally, Lyra Valkyria would send out a tweet that stated, or more disappointed than Becky Lynch, huh? And it's not just me saying it. Other people said it. 2025, I love you. So with that, great to see that AJ Lee is back. Great to see that she is in WWE full time. And now we just got to see where this all goes past WrestlePalooza. We know at WrestlePalooza the match is going to be, and apparently it's going to be announced for officially tonight. It's going to be her and Punk versus Seth and Becky. But I can see, here's the thing. Here's what I can see happening. And now we're going to go into predictions and fantasy booking. What if? And I hate working off what ifs, but I don't hate working off futuristic what ifs in fantasy booking. I hate what ifs in the past. Like, I had a friend yesterday. Oh, the Jets barely lost to the Steelers. What if we would have got that run at the end? What if it wasn't that hard tackle at the end and then we could have scored that last touchdown? No, I don't work off past what ifs. Future what ifs, sure. And here's what could happen. WrestlePalooza, AJ pins Becky. What does that mean? Oh, she just pinned the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Oh, new number one contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Then we get a one-on-one match at Crown Jewel in Perth. Becky, AJ, maybe AJ beating Becky in Australia. for the Women's Intercontinental Championship? I mean, how great would that be? Let me know your thoughts on AJ Lee being back in WWE. I want to hear from you guys and what you guys think. Let us know in the comment section. Drop that super chat, drop that Twitch bit donation, and let us know what you guys think about AJ Lee being back in WWE. And before we talk more about pro wrestling, we got to hear from our sponsor right here or right now. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? Maybe it's time to chill with an AE Cooley handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3 speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AE Cooley fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below. Scan the QR code on the screen or head over to pwunlimited.co/AE Cooley. It's never frozen meals Cooley now, so you can skip in the palm of your hand. Up. Just heat and eat and get back to crushing your day. Whether you're keto, calorie conscious, or just want to eat clean without sacrificing flavor, Factor has chef-crafted options that actually taste like real food. Maybe you want pancakes for breakfast, chicken for lunch, and a steak for dinner. Factor has you covered. And here's the kicker. These meals are ready to go in just 2 minutes. That's less time it takes to scroll through your delivery app and regret your choices. So if you want to fuel your hustle without any hassle, then sign up for a Factor 75 subscription today. Use our code below, scan the QR code on the screen, or use our link in the description to get 50% off your order. Eat smart, live fully with Factor. And we're back, guys, with all of that. We got some more news to talk about. There's a story about AJ Styles that dropped this morning from John Alba of Sports Illustrated that I'm going to pull up here on the screen, as Alba did write the following, stating, quote, AJ Styles has had a phenomenal tenure in WWE over the course of the past decade, but speculation is growing about potential unhappiness as he plots his future. Now, one of his own family members is weighing in on his most recent WWE run. Styles posted on Instagram over the weekend displaying an image of an hourglass with his logo slipping through it. This led to fans speculating retirement was on the horizon for the former WWE champion, with some complaining about his current creative booking status in WWE, including his son AJ. Responding to a comment suggesting Paul Levesque was disrespecting Styles with his booking and it upset him, Styles' son said, quote, "You ain't the only one, man," end quote. Comment has since been deleted. Styles has been feuding with Dominic Mysterio over the WWE Intercontinental Championship, losing to him both at SummerSlam and at Monday night in France last week. It's unclear if the 48-year-old WWE superstar will continue to work a program with Mysterio, as reports do state that they will. With that said, Styles was overwhelmed by the response to his entrance on Raw last week, interestingly enough, saying he, quote, needed that reaction. That begs the next question. Is this the last time Styles could perform overseas for WWE? While Styles has said in the past that he would like to retire from in-ring action once he turns 50, well, that could come after his days in WWE are done. It was reported this past week that Styles, who had signed a 1-year contract extension with WWE following his foot injury, would be with the company until February of next year. But that's not to say he wasn't. That's not to say that he hasn't thought about his post-WWE plans. Multiple sources have indicated to the Takedown on SI that prior to re-signing with WWE on his most recent contract extension, Styles did indeed put feelers out about potential options outside of the company. Specifically, it was noted that he was generating major interest on the convention circuit from promoters. and it was mentioned that the interest was mutual and at least exploratory. It's unclear as to whether or not Styles was looking to wrestle for another promotion, though he did show up at TNA Slammiversary as part of WWE's working relationship with their partner TNA. Several years ago, it was reported by Dave Meltzer that AJ Styles was eyed for the debut episode of AEW Dynamite in 2019, where he was expected to debut in the company alongside the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. Instead, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson re-signed with WWE, and Styles remained with the promotion. Styles is a 3-time former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, 6-time TNA X Division Champion, 2-time WWE Champion, and is generally considered to be one among the greatest performers of the last 2 decades. So it is very interesting as to how they're writing this piece here about AJ Styles. They don't write up a thing that says, oh, AJ looked at feelers about working somewhere else instead of staying with WWE. It was more of, hey, AJ wants to see if I'm retired, what's the convention circuit look like? If I'm no longer with WWE wrestling at all, hey, what can I be making outside of WWE, not wrestling, and doing appearances and conventions and autograph signings and whatnot? That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like, oh, he put out feelers to TNA, want to re-sign me. He put out feelers to AEW, you guys want me. It sounds like AJ's ready to retire and wants to know what pay could be in that retirement from in-ring competition. So there is things to look at here because that's all they know. Could AJ have put out other feelers? Maybe. Could have, Tony Khan heard, hey, AJ, here you're thinking of maybe leaving WWE, not signing another contract. Yeah, you can go do conventions and stuff, but how about we give you a run? Let us sign you to a 1-year deal and see what you can do. I mean, Tony's not against doing stuff like that. Tony would love to bring anybody and everybody in, especially guys as big as AJ Styles that he once wanted back in 2019. So we're going to call this story very, very close. We're going to follow AJ Styles' current deal with WWE very closely as it's roughly in 5 to 6 months up, and then we see where it all goes. WWE, of course, would love to stay with AJ Styles and have him with the company, whether that is signed to a full-time deal, still wrestling, or doing something else with the company, I would assume. So we'll have to wait and see exactly where this all goes for AJ Styles. Now, over the weekend, news came out that one Stu Bennett, we all know as Wade Barrett, may be done with WWE on commentary. PW Insider put out a report stating that he had been pulled from commentary, and it was not known if this was due to the comments made on Nikki Bella. Now, he wasn't on SmackDown Friday, and we have since learned that for the foreseeable future, for the next couple of weeks, Colin Graves will call both Raw and SmackDown. And so the big question was, well, what? No, everyone loves Wade. Wade's great on commentary, maybe better than Corey, in a way. Because I don't know if Wade Barrett can do play-by-play, but Corey can do both the play-by-play and the color phenomenally. Anyways, Stu Bennett himself had to come and debunk the rumors on social media as he stated, quote, I usually ignore BS like this, but it's causing needless hate to be spewed towards people I work with. WWE have kindly given me a couple weeks off of personal time, booked 9 months ago, and then I'm back to business as usual. A complete non-story, the end. That's all this is, ladies and gentlemen. Wade Barrett is not pulled from commentary. Wade Barrett has not been let go by WWE as some people interpreted the PW Insider report. No. He is just given time off that he asked for 9 months ago. But speaking of commentary, there's been a commentary change in AEW as far as the Dynamite commentary team does go, as over the weekend. Well, actually, late last week. What day was this sent out on? The 6th, which was Saturday. Tony Khan actually made a huge announcement where he stated, quote, starting this Wednesday, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, will join the Wednesday Night Dynamite commentary team full-time. Welcome back, Bryan, on Dynamite this Wednesday. That's awesome to see. We did see Forbidden Door and the the Dynamite before Forbidden Door, Brian did the commentary. Brian was phenomenal on commentary, and I think he's going to be a delight to have on that team with Excalibur and whoever the third man is. That's the big question. We know it's going to be Excalibur. Excalibur is the play-by-play guy, the lead man for Dynamite commentary. But the question is, who's the third man? Is it Shivani or is it Taz? One would assume, and this is just me assuming, not having any knowledge, knowing it or anything, one would assume that it's probably Excalibur, Danielson, and Taz, with Shivani just being the lead guy in the full-time only on Collision, and then doing stuff on Dynamite when needed. I just hope, and I hate when they do this on the pay-per-views, and I hope they don't do this moving forward on Dynamite or anything. I don't like the rotating commentary during a show. Like, okay, you throw MVP on there for a Hurt Syndicate match, whatever. You throw Don Callis out there for a Don Callis family match, whatever. You give us Jim Ross in the main event. But I hate where it's like, oh, we've done three matches. Now, Taz, you're off. Let's bring out Nigel just for the hell of it. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I like just one cohesive team working together, doing commentary the entire time. Yeah, you could add a guest commentator here and there, but I'm just not a big fan of let's rotate the commentary team. Now, WWE used to do this back in the day when they had the hard brand split. Michael Cole and Taz would call the SmackDown matches on the pay-per-view, and Jim Ross and the King would call the Raw matches on the pay-per-view. Now, that's different because it's like, yeah, JR and King are on Raw every week. JR and King are invested in the Raw storylines. They know what's going on, this, that, so forth. And then Cole and Taz, are invested in SmackDown. They know everything SmackDown, whatever. And so it's like, that's okay. But I don't know. It just gets annoying when like, oh yeah, Taz was good in that last match. Wait, I don't hear Taz anymore. What the hell happened? So that's a big change that is coming to this Wednesday's Dynamite. Bryan Danielson will be full-time on the Dynamite commentary team going forward. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to touch on, people have been asking, where's Dakota Kai been? Where has she been? And what has she been doing since getting released by WWE? She hasn't done any wrestling. And on a recent Twitch stream, she actually talked about this where she stated, quote, I miss wrestling, you guys. We're going to get back into it. It's just one of those things where it's been nice to have a little bit of a break. I've been doing it for a long time, longer than the last 7 years I was in WWE. You know what I mean? It's nice to take a step back for a while, but I really do miss it. So yeah, we don't know exactly what is next, but that's just her telling her fans, hey, I'm sorry. I've been gone for a little while, but I will be back. And I know she said something else about, where is it? I know she had mentioned something about being off of social media, but now I lost that quote. I do apologize. Because she hasn't been really posting much on social media. Yeah, she's doing her podcast still with Zelina Vega, but it's like she's not Twitch streaming really or anything. So yeah, good to see that she's good. Just wanted some time off, and I guess her time in WWE and the money she made there that she has been able to save, you would think, has afforded her this time off. So that's always great to see. But with that, it's Monday, and tonight is Monday Night Raw. So far, only a few things have been announced for the show, but let's go check WWE's website and see if anything new has been announced. Because yesterday, Adam Pearce did announce AJ Lee will be on the show. Oh, that's interesting. WWE has changed AJ's render, but in a way where it's still the same old render, I think. They just changed the shirt. That's interesting. So they haven't announced. And actually, let's pull this up on the screen. WWE has officially announced AJ Lee will be appearing on tonight's show. And if you see here, they changed the render for this, at least. They put the new shirt on her instead of the green shirt that she had in the actual render. The Usos will be appearing on tonight's show. I assume they set up the match with them and Braun and Braun. Then in action, we know that Lyra Valkyria will be facing Raquel Rodriguez. And then AJ Styles will go one-on-one with El Grande Americano. And that is everything that has so far been announced for tonight's Monday Night Raw. But speaking of AJ Lee, one last time, remember to go get the brand new first time in a decade AJ Lee T-shirt. Use the link pwunlimited.co/AJ Lee to support us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited when getting this brand new awesome AJ Lee T-shirt. With that, guys, that's going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, Luke and I should be back tonight following Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk everything that goes down on that show. So with that, have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you later. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid really fast. Let's see, who are we going to